1290 to 11 coming at you with another video. This video is regarding someone who um, commented on one of my videos, and he said he wanted to kick money. Like, usually that's in a term that they want you to help them out financially or to build the deck. So the reality is, 3 years ago, the decks were somewhat affordable. Like, even a good, okay Dark Mission deck was $20, $30. I mean, my top tier budgets, I bought them for $40. I've been saying that for 3 years already. What did it not include? It didn't include anything from Magical Heroes because I bought it in May. I bought, I think, 3 or 4 decks in May. So Magical Heroes came out at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020 when COVID hit. But everything else was in the deck. So they were like cheap. And the same decks again, they're currently now like $300. Some of the prices have been going down. So I'm going to make an example of what you could build a Dark Magician for $20. Right now, the commons, I don't have most of the commons because, as you already know, I sell online. And sometimes I sell a lot. Sometimes I don't sell as much, but most of the people that I orient towards are the budget community because they can't afford the $1,000 decks or whatnot. So here's an example of what can be played in the Dark Mission deck. And I could build one, but I'm not gonna get some cards if somebody's not gonna buy the deck. And then on top of that, if I put the deck for 20, anybody else is gonna buy it before anybody. Like, let's say somebody tells me I want a $20 Dark Mission deck, like right now, I can build one. Are you gonna buy it? Probably not, because somebody else is gonna buy it before you. So that's the other thing. I would have to put a reserve, and you would have to buy it right away because anybody else will. Because a Dark Magician deck right now at a budget is somewhere around $50. Anything less than that, and it's pretty much garbage. Basically, you could be spending $20 for no real reason because you're never gonna win. So here's an example. Staples. You have to have 3 Dark Magician. So yeah, so just disregard the rarities because some of the rarities I don't have any right now of the commons because like I said, I'm sold out of some of the commons. So 3 Dark Magicians are staple in the deck. Another card that's obviously staple is a Dark Magician Girl, so you have those bricks. But then after that, you can play 3 of the Keeper of Dragon Magic together with Polymerization. And then other cards that you can play with it to make it work. This engine's pretty good. So here it is. So it's a 4-card engine. So Apprentice Illusion Magician chains to the other one, and then you can stop the other effect, and it puts counters on the field when it's flipped. And then the last card, you can either, depending on what you need, like if you need to destroy a monster or Vindicate, you switch it, or you switch to crystals here to see two cards, 2 or 3 cards, and then draw 1 to your hand and then shuffle the deck. So, or stack it, I believe. So they hit this one, and if there's no more hits, you could just go directly to these. If you need a draw or pop a card, a monster. If they have 2, then you can go into the 2. If you want 3, well, I have a third one. You could do 3 attacks to protect, and then you choose which one of those. So with that, let me count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9, and then from there, another card that you would want because of the counters. 2 Silent Magician, level 4. So every turn they're gonna go up by 500 of attack. And there's a lot of other spells that we're gonna include to boost him. um, like this defender. So a lot of the cards are putting counters on the field, so they're boosting your silent magician up by a lot. This one protects all the spellcasters. You can attack I'm sorry. Whenever a spellcaster is going to be destroyed, you can remove a counter from it. He comes with the counter, um, and then you can discard the counter, and it negates the destruction of a spellcaster. Another card you can play is Jojin, the Spiritualist. Discard a card, all special summon monsters gets destroyed. The Tricky, discard one specially. Magician's Valkyria. So basically, you can attack any spellcasters, only her, while she's on the field, obviously. Two effect Veilers. Tini, the Spiritual. I'm sorry, Tini Spirit Vashuda. So if you count those all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 monsters. We could probably cut a few, but those are examples. Now for the spells, you would be looking at 2 Dark Magic Circle. You don't want 3 because nothing's gonna happen. 2 Guardians, so that one's gonna, all the spellcasters, all of them, including the Silent Magician, all of them, they're no longer gonna be destroyed by attack. They're just gonna be getting more and more powerful. If they can't destroy these cards, then OTK with them. As soon as you play them, they'll boost the magicians, the Silent Magicians to 2,000, like just with ending your turn. It's like already 2,000. If they draw more cards, then more. By the time you find just in 2 turns, they should be already like at 3,000, 3,500. So that's gonna be a problem for your opponent. Spellbook Engine. Draw 2 cards. More draw power. One Allure of Darkness. You can play part of Duality. And then for negations, you have Magician's right hand and left hand. And then popping cards, Soul Taker. More boosting, United We Stand. And then more draw power, Piercing the Darkness. Special summoning. Well, before we go to that, Monster Destruction, Dark Hole. And then another Monster Destruction, Magical Dimension. And then we have Protection, Swords. We got a Reborn and a Brain Control. Now for the traps, that's a lot of spells. For the traps, if you want more draw power, 3 Reckless. Those are like $1.50 for the playset. Basically, you activate it, draw 2 cards. So if you have the duality and everything else that's in the spells, you're gonna be drawing a lot of cards for cheap. And then for protection, the Mirror Force, Magician's Salvation, Magician's Circle, then 2 Crackdowns, obviously the 2 Eternals. You will not be able to play Salvation because it's a $2 to $3 card, so the deck's already maxed out. So if we count the whole deck together, 1, 2, 3. It's 45. The deck's 45. We can cut some cards from the deck to make it 40. But the deck's value is somewhere around $52. So you would be stealing $30 from the deck. You can't do extra deck because the extra deck costs more money. I mean, the extra deck by itself is like $25. So you can't even add that. And obviously, like I said, somewhere around $30 to $35 is already free because the deck costs around 52, 53. A lot of people want to buy from TCG Player or a lot of places, and what they're not aware of, a lot of the cars they don't have tracking numbers, so they never even make it to your house. There's nothing the seller can do because you decided not to do tracking. So they can still argue like, hey, you got the cards. If they were lost, that's your business. Because a lot of people, what they do is, I've been selling for a lot of years, like maybe 15, almost 20 years, and I've learned people get the cards, but because they don't have tracking, they'll be like, oh, I never got it, and they try to get them for free. So what people do is they look at your reviews, and and that's something I do. When I see a person's evil or bad, like that he says that he kept the card, the guy claims that the cards never came, I already know that that person's fraudulent, and I don't sell. That's another thing that people don't know about me. um, I control who buys from me and who doesn't. Like people think like I have the money, do what I tell you. Nope, I'm not like everybody else. I decide who buys and who doesn't buy from me. Have full control of everything. So I do help out the community. Here's an example. Here's the deck. You can't have the extra deck. Uh, this deck could be made um, cheaper, but it's gonna be even less competitive, and the chances of you winning any duels are probably gonna be never. Um, so with this version and like some of the cards added to it, like the three keepers with the polymerization and stuff like that, you could work with that. You could work, but you would also need a Dragon Knight, probably just one Dragon Knight. So if you wanted a more better and competitive deck, I usually sell them at 50 normally. So with the $50 deck, you get a really good build. You get the circles, the Eternals, you get the Salvation, the Dark Magicians, the Navigation. You get one Dragon Knight, the spells and traps to draw, and it's pretty good. And with one Dragon Knight, you're not gonna beat it. And then a $50 deck, you're not gonna find it nowhere. You're not gonna beat it. It's super competitive for $50. So like I said, these are your options. Hopefully you make up your mind. Anybody else who's interested, that my decks start at $50 to $55 because like I said, anything cheaper than that and the deck is considered trash, is no good. You can't win. So I strongly suggest people to buy the $50 or $55 deck. They come with one Dragoon. I'm sorry, one Dragon Knight. Dragoon is not included in any of those bills. The Dragoons are included from the $300 decks and up. But the Dragon Knight is included in the $50 decks, $50 to $55. So if you want to save up another $30 and buy a better, way better, like 4 or 5 times better than this deck, you can. If you want to buy this $20 deck, then you can as well. But I guarantee you it's going to be difficult for you to win duels. So with that having been said, thanks for subscribing. We have 2 new subscribers. I'll see who they are and make a video thanking them. And then I build you the deck. I guarantee you can go into the millions of YouTubers. Nobody will build these decks for you. Nobody will help you because they don't care. They just care about top tier. They don't care about the people who can't play top tier. I care about both top tier and people who can't afford the deck. So I answered your questions. Here's the $20 deck. With that having been said, Dark Magic Attack.